Hello and welcome to Meet Our Makers, an artist interview podcast produced in association with Beats Per Minute. I am your host, Jeremy J. Facette. On this episode, we get to meet Ane Brun. Ane is a singer-songwriter originally from Norway who mostly resides in Sweden, although she's been in Norway since this pandemic began. And she has released many albums over her long and revered career, including several of which that have shot up the Scandinavian music charts. This fall, Ane saw fit to put out two separate albums, After the Great Storm, which arrived at the end of October, and How Beauty Holds the Hand of Sorrow, slated for the end of November. In this chat, Ane and I discuss the choices behind each of those two projects, including what ended up dividing them in the first place. We also talk a bit about what her life has been like during this pandemic, as well as her deep fondness for cover songs, including a Bjork cover, which she performed in front of Bjork at an award ceremony. So thank you for listening, and please enjoy. This is me meeting Ane Brun. Well, thank you for coming in.
It's my pleasure. Where are you?
I'm in Connecticut, right near New York. Cool. Where are you based these days?
I usually live in Sweden. I've done that for almost 20 years this fall, actually. But in the last 6 months, I have been in Oslo, Norway.
So you've been spending a lot of the pandemic there?
Yeah, because I have my partner there, and it didn't feel good to not be together in this time. So
yeah. So how have you been? How have you been doing this on this very strange year?
Well, I think the first couple of months were very scary and kind of like I don't know. Confusing, I guess. I can imagine everyone felt the same way, like kind of what's going to happen, how long is this going to last, and then you almost get used to it somehow. But I'm kind of at the moment, I think it's a bit scary again. You know, it's winter time coming, and
I know we're kind of rounding a corner to get things not so great anymore.
But then I feel there's a few things that have been nice about it too, like just stopping everything and get a chance to feel how life can be when the tempo is lower.
Right. Yeah. There's sort of like a quietness that comes with this that we might not have been afforded otherwise, or wouldn't have even known to look for otherwise.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think a lot of people have been feeling that way, that it's sort of, yes, it's obviously it's a crisis that we wish was not happening, but it does afford you time to be introspective and thoughtful, I think.
Yeah, it does. It is.
So you have two albums coming out. Were these completed before the pandemic?
Yeah, all of the songs except one on the second album was written before everything happened, and but I finished the album during the pandemic. So we had recorded all the big sessions with the big studio sessions, but there were some additional recordings to do, like vocals and backing vocals and like mixing and mastering and all that stuff. So when I went to Oslo and didn't go back to Stockholm, we worked remotely and mixed the songs remotely, and also had a guy who worked in London for 3 of the songs, so everything was kind of online. That worked fine, and also, one thing that was good about it was that I was when I look back, I was quite stressed in the months before, and I didn't feel that I had completely landed in all the recordings. There were a few songs that I weren't happy with, and I didn't really know how to get there. And what happened was that when I had the time to sit in the semi-lockdown that we had and listen, I made some really important decisions. There were like 3 or 4 songs that I had produced, or we had produced like a bigger production, and I never really thought we had nailed those songs. So what I did was that I recorded them again in more intimate versions, and that's when they kind of landed. So from having 16 songs or 17 with a new song, which I thought maybe that wouldn't all be on the album. All of a sudden I had 18 songs, including an acoustic version of one of the other songs, and it felt so natural that when I listened to them, it was so natural that they were in two different rooms of music. So it just became a natural thing to split them up.
Yeah, I was going to ask if that was not originally the intent. It was going to be one project, and then you decided to split them up kind of late in the game.
Yeah, I was planning to make After the Great Storm, a big album with big production and beats and kind of be ambitious about it. But the songs didn't let me do that because they said, "Oh no, I don't. I want to be a whisper. I don't want to be. I don't want to be a '90s song. I want to be a whisper."
Did you say a '90s song?
Yeah,
That's so interesting because I was thinking the same thing when I was listening to it, and I thought I was maybe a little bit crazy, but I guess
no,
not.
it's true. A lot of inspiration comes from the music I listened to in the '90s, like Massive Attack and DJ Shadow and all these like crossover jazz electronica stuff. That was, I don't know which year you're born, but from 95 to 2000.
I was born in 93, so.
Yeah, okay. I'm a bit older than you then. But when you were very tiny, I was at the dance clubs in Europe. So I'm kind of, I've kind of I went back to listen to that, and also combination with the music from the 2010s, like lots of great hip hop sounds and just being inspired by the soundscape of like Kendrick Lamar and Anderson .Paak and Sir S.I. How do you say it? Do you say Sir S.I.R.? What?
I would,
Is it
yeah,
Sir?
I guess so.
Yeah. And also James Blake, like modern, like music from today. So a mix of that. I wanted to make a hybrid of the things that I love, the sounds that I love, and try to bring that into my own music. Because it's this After the Great Storm album, if I talk about that only, it very much reflects my own taste in music, maybe more than any of my albums before.
Yeah, it's definitely, I noticed the first album of yours that I feel like consistently is quite, kind of like you said, quite a large production. It kind of rocks even at times. And I feel like that's not always something that you've done, or at least not done often. So I did kind of notice that kind of big production quality, lots of synths, lots of percussion, kind of almost anthemic in a way.
It's very much similar to what I've been doing on stage in the last 3-4 years. So I think that's also one of the reasons why this became what it became. Because I've had this really long tour after When I'm Free. We toured for 3-4 years and did like really like big band tours with 7 people on stage. And I think my sound kind of expanded from that.
Yeah, and we should say, so we've been talking about After the Great Storm, which is out actually in a few days because we're recording on October 26th, and this comes out on October 30th. The other album, which I have heard, is quite different. How Beauty Holds the Hand of Sorrow, that's out November 27th. Yeah. And I noticed something I actually had not noticed about your work in the past somehow, but you release on your own label. Balloon Ranger, and it seems like you've done that since 2011 with It All Starts With One, I think.
I've actually been indie since the beginning.
Oh, okay.
But I changed the name of the label.
Oh, that's probably why I saw that.
Somewhere in mid-2000s.
Oh, okay.
It was just because another friend had the same, and we wanted to just separate it financially. So
what does it mean to you to be so independent with your label? You've never released on another label?
No.
Oh, cool.
I've only done license deals in like America and Australia and that kind of stuff, but but I've always done it. And these days we try to do it purely independent all over the world because we can just buy all the things we need. You know, we can just hire the people we need to make it as close to a big label release as you can.
Yeah.
Of course, there are some muscles missing, but we've, when I talk about we, it's me and my manager who I met the year my first album was done, and he helped me get it out. And he got me my first distribution deal, and it was through a record label that was called V2 Records, which actually, from a very small ambitious thought that I wanted to have an album, a real album that would be in a store. Within 3 months, it was all over Europe, which was for me was quite big. And after that, I've toured Europe, I've toured the States, I've done a lot of international work, and we've kind of found a way to make it work. And it's the most important part of it. The choice is that it's fun. It's creative. We can do anything we want as long as we have the budget, and we can make decisions, within an hour. We don't have to ask anyone.
Right.
We don't have to wait for schedules. We don't have to wait to fit in the PR schedule of the company.
Yeah, I was going to say that independence must be very nice.
For me, creatively, it's been amazing, because I think that's one of the keys for me, that how much I've expanded my sound, how much I've dared to challenge myself, and kind of, I think I've done a lot of things, released a lot of things that I don't think a big label would let me do. So I feel I have a very playful situation.
Yeah,
which is
I would
amazing.
say so, yeah. Even in the fact that you have 2 albums coming out in 1 year, there are, so many artists who would not be afforded that by their labels.
Exactly.
And you're also releasing them basically 1 month apart, as opposed to kind of as one combined thing. I was wondering, why aren't you releasing them on the same day? Are you trying to give people like time with the first one?
Yeah. Because the After the Great Storm album is the big project. It's me trying to expand. It's me trying to be brave and let people know that I'm moving forward somehow. The singer-songwriter part of me that is on the second album is something I will always do, and I will always refine it. It's always going to be a part of my music, and that is something I know my fans will like. Probably, because they usually do like my soft side. And I'm very proud of those songs too, because I think they are the best work I've done in those that kind of genre in many ways. So it was part because I don't think my attention span lasts for 90 minutes anymore. It would be 90 minutes to release them on the same day, and I love listening to albums, but I never really get past number 8 or 9. It's there's always something going on. Someone calls you, or you get an email, or the only place I can listen to music for hours is in a car when I drive for far. So and also just like kind of adapting the playlist thought, just step into this playlist and stay there. Especially the second album, How Beauty, is a state of mind kind of thing.
Did
that I want to give to people.
Did the songs on After the Great Storm start out similarly to the quieter songs, or did you always start them large?
Oh, they all songs except maybe 4 of these 2 albums started out large because I wanted that. That was what I was looking for. But then I just had to strip down a few of them.
Right.
So because I wanted to try to fit them in a bigger production. But the two albums fit together lyrically, so that's also the reason why I released them in the same year and the same.
Right. Period. So they link up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You did also another thing that I feel like a lot of artists on bigger labels or other labels don't get to do. You put out, I think, 7 singles from
I
these
think
two
it's actually
albums.
9.
Is it 9? I know. I felt
That's
like I couldn't keep up. It seemed like every week there was an
yeah, yeah,
Ane Brun song.
yeah, yeah.
um,
Every third week, actually, was
every
our
third
plan.
week. Okay.
But then we had a little bit longer spaces in the summer. But it was an experiment, and it was funny because I talked to my British PR person, and he was kind of just like, when I first heard you were doing that, I thought you were mad, like crazy. I don't know how that's gonna work, and we just felt like trying it because we try to make every release interesting in its own way, like make videos and write about it. And I was trying to make content around it and just kind of see if I could give the songs a chance to get that space that they want. And quite a lot of the songs, especially on After the Great Storm, they have a lot of information, and there's a lot of details. And so I thought it was interesting to see if I could get my fans to come with me on this journey, and it has been, for me, very rewarding. And I have really good feedback from people, and also I can see my following is growing on Spotify and on streaming, and I can on Instagram. Everything's just kind of growing through the year, so somehow it's been good, I think.
Well, in a way, it's sort of that approach is sort of like tailor made to this moment because not only are people home a lot more this year than they would have been and have a lot more space and time in their lives than they would have. So you're giving people these songs kind of throughout the year to kind of, they check in every now and then. But also, for better or worse, the format of the album has been sort of encroached upon over the past few years by singles and streaming and mixtapes and playlists. So by doing this, you're like leaving little crumbs for the people who typically would only do that, but then they all lead up to this larger project. And even though you released 9 singles, there are what in total, you said 17 songs?
18 including
songs?
one acoustic version.
Right. The after the Don't Run and Cry, Don't Hide and Cry. Sorry.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of songs to release as singles, but then you also have a lot more that are still surprises for people. So it's not like you spoiled the whole album or anything.
No.
And I also noticed you did a few like listening parties online where you would actually go yourself and check in with people who were listening. What was that like?
That was amazing. I came up with it in the beginning of the pandemic because I was just thinking, what am I going to do to get this music out, and just kind of figuring out what to. I felt like I have to be creative, and I think the DIY side of me just kind of woke up. I was like, okay, what am I going to do? Like what I did from the start when I started my label. So I invited fans into one of those conference platforms, like not Zoom, but a Norwegian one called Whereby, and you could just log in, and I would be there, and there were up to 50 people in the room, and about 12 was on camera, and I invited people to come in, and I would play the new single for them or the video, and we could watch it together and listen to it together. And I even made a video of one of those because I taped the screen with everyone's permission. I taped the screen while they were talking and listening to the music, and it's really beautiful video for the song Trust. You can find it on my YouTube. You can kind of see the whole atmosphere of that meeting, because this was like in the peak of the lockdown where people were really not going outside at all. And so there were people from central Italy. There were people from Indonesia, Australia, New York, Los Angeles, London, Holland, all over Europe, South America, and everyone was in this room, and everyone was in the same situation. And it was very, very special and real in a way. And I had these amazing chats with people. We talked about everything, and also just those kind of meetings with fans that I don't get to do so much, because when I'm on tour, I don't do meet and greets after the show because I'm exhausted, and I'm also worried about getting a cold, that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of like, I I don't do those meet and greets so much, but this was just amazing to be able to connect in this way. So I did that a few times, and I really think I'm going to try to continue doing that in the future as well, because it's a good way to see who's listening to me.
Yeah.
Kind of see what kind of people are out there.
Yeah, I'm curious about things like this that seem to be so born out of this quarantine and sort of that sort of seeking out human connection. I'm so curious to see which of these methods are going to continue, how many people are going to continue them, because some of them have been quite cathartic and quite beautiful.
I think that the connection is the key word. That if you can do a digital meeting and feel connected, really feel connected, if it's made in that way, I think it definitely can be a worthwhile space to bring into a post-pandemic world.
Whenever that is.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of something else that I had never seen someone do. The thing that Jens Lekman did this year, where he would like call randomly Skype call fans and like sing them a song and then move on to the next one and sing them a song.
That's
like
amazing.
one person concerts, like just these sort of creative ways to connect again, because so many people, especially musicians who are so used to being on the road, aren't getting that so much right now. So it's been really interesting to see the ways that people go about it.
I think it's really symptomatic of what we feel as musicians, that at least if I speak for myself, the whole playing music for people is it's like that is kind of the way that the music comes alive, and that's how you feel that you can identify as a musician. It's when you play it for people, or if you get out there. And I think it's something we need to
definitely
keep doing things,
And you mentioned you toured 3 or 4 years after When I'm Free. So you are a pretty ambitious touring musician. So when do you how are you feeling about touring right now? And do you have any sort of inclination to do online concerts, or are you kind of looking elsewhere?
Well, I had a big tour in the fall that we just moved to next year.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna stay low for a while and see what happens. And because of politics, that you can't, they're gonna sell tickets, and I can't do another show before
Right.
that. But I've done like a couple of acoustic things on that, like the listening room and all these kind of things. That's been lovely, but I haven't really done a public big live stream, and it's something. I'm kind of curious of how we should do those gigs that makes people focus on it. It's going to be interesting to see the Billie Eilish thing that she just did and see what that was. And
Oh, yeah.
people are recreating it all the time and see what it can develop into. And will people sit down and watch live streams when this is over? I'm not sure.
I don't know either. I've watched a few in quarantine, but I probably could count the number of ones I watched before quarantine on one hand. It's because even though I'm not going to concerts every night, there's something about being able to that makes me not seek those internet concerts out as much. So yeah, I don't know. I wonder if those will really continue. I do think on the one hand, I think I was talking with Mira about this, about how yes, it's so different because you're alone in the room and sort of singing into a device and hoping that there's people there. But if there are people there, it is sort of nice that it's people from everywhere,
Yeah, that's true.
She has fans, or anyone would have fans from multiple cities, multiple countries kind of coming together, maybe people who couldn't have seen you before, things like that. So there is a nice quality to it, but it's, nothing replaces a real show.
Yeah, I think that if we can create it into something that is not a live show and is something else, that you try to create a quality in that you can't experience anywhere else, like on a live show. Like if you can make it intimate in a way that you would never get at a real stage, I think that could perhaps make it survive.
Yeah, that's possible. It's like something just totally different that like you said, that you would never get elsewhere. Yeah, that's possible. It's just that, especially albums like After the Great Storm, it seems like they were created with performance so in mind.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
like they're so, the songs on that, specifically on that part of that album, are louder. They're so alive. It sounds like quite a bit of it was performed live or recorded live. I don't
Yeah,
know if that's
yeah.
true.
Quite a lot of the songs are
Yeah.
live.
So yeah, I'm glad that you were able to move your tour. I know not everyone was able to do that.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're back in action by then.
Hopefully.
Next fall sounds so far away, but
Yeah.
it's not, unfortunately. I hope we're okay by then.
Yeah, me too.
So another thing I wanted to talk about for a bit was, you are also quite well known for your covers that you do.
Yes.
You actually, a few years ago, put out a covers album, an entire covers album. Is that the first? But is that the first covers album you've done?
Yeah, you could say that. I released something called Rarities a few years back,
Oh, right.
where I kind of just put everything I had on my artist that hasn't been released
Right.
in one album. And there were a few covers on that, and many of those are very popular. So in a way, that was kind of a covers album, but it also included some original material. So this was the real covers album.
Yeah, and you also you do a lot of covers live in your shows as well.
I try to mix them in.
Right. What is it about covers? Because your covers they're not just like, perfunctory, you looked up the chords and you're covering them. They're very thought out and considered, and you can tell that it's a very deliberate choice that you're making. What is it about covering someone else's work that appeals to you?
It's a creative process, and it's inspiring to me to not always have to start with a white sheet of paper. You have something. You have ingredients that you can work on. It's like taking a dress and sewing it that it fits you somehow. It's been, it's been partly it's been projects that I've been asked to do. Like, can you do this song for this TV show, and can you do this for this commercial or this movie, or can you do this for this party or this concert? And then I sit down and do my versions, but also many of them are just choices that I made because I felt like doing it. Like one thing of A Marie, for instance, is one of the things I've done many years ago, just because I really love that song. It's like, can I even do that? That would be crazy if I could do that with a guitar, and the Arcade Fire song, and just I'm trying to just pick out the elements of those songs that I really love and just see if I can express them somehow with my own voice and my own, just say the words in a different way.
Right. One of the covers of yours that you have been doing for quite a few years is Halo. By Beyonce. I feel like that's one of the more, maybe it's just because it's a Beyonce song, but it's one of the more well-known covers, I'd say, of yours, or those videos of you performing it, they get a lot of views. What drew you to that song?
I was actually it's quite funny to think about, because I was on tour in 2009, I think it was, with a very special setup with 4 female voices, a cello and me on guitar. So we had a lot of backing vocals and harmonies, and we used to sing that one when we were warming up backstage, like the original version, just for fun. And then I remember I was going to record a Eurythmics cover for Amnesty project.
Ooh.
And
did you ever do that?
Yeah, I did that too. It's out there.
Oh, which Eurythmics song is that?
It's All Right, Baby's Coming Back.
I didn't even know that was. I have to look that up.
And then me and the cellist Linnea Olsson, we were in the studio, and I said, "Can we just try to make a version of Halo? Wouldn't that be fun?" That kind of. It was just for fun. And then we put that on the hard drive, and it was there for a while. And then when we were doing the Rarities album, we just kind of me and my manager said, "That is quite cool, that version. Let's just release it." And now it's 50+ million views or streams. So it's a good example of how having fun can be a good thing.
Yeah, and I mean that version of it doesn't sound like something that was just off the cuff, It sounds pretty considered.
Yeah, it felt that it's a lot of credit to Linnea there who created that beautiful atmosphere with her cello.
Do you know if Beyonce's
So,
ever heard it?
well, I don't really know, but it has been synced to this Hollywood teen film, which was called If I Stay.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And for that to be accepted, it had to go through them.
Mhm.
So, but probably it's just her publisher who takes care of that. I don't really even want to dare to think about that she's heard it.
I know.
So-
It's like this like untouchable like force.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another one of yours that I like quite a bit is a video I watch quite often if I'm going down a live footage rabbit hole on YouTube is your Bjork cover.
Yeah.
Yoga, which you actually performed in front of her.
What
was that
The
experience
scariest
like?
thing.
I can't even fathom that.
Oh my God, I was so scared.
Were you asked to do that?
Yeah, that was a Polar Prize. It's Polar Music Prize. It's a Swedish music award where they give it to inspiring artists. And Björk was the artist that year, and the production asked me if I could do that song. And I remember standing on stage. I'd never met her before. And standing on stage, she was on the front row, and I remember thinking, I think my heart probably shows on TV because it was pounding so hard. And the very first phrase is like, my voice breaks. It's like, "Oh, this accident."
I don't think I ever noticed that.
No, but that's my nerves. And then I just kind of went into it. And as soon as I open my mouth, I always kind of connect and I start focusing, but I couldn't look at her once,
Oh no, I would never have been able to look at her.
Oof. But then I met her after. She came over to me actually and thanked me, and that was really sweet. She was really sweet.
I know that would be she's so one of my idols, you
Yeah.
know, and I know I'm not the only one, and I was just talking the other day about how risky it can be when you're in those scenarios with your idols, meeting your idols sometimes. So I can only
Shouldn't
imagine.
talk to them.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't, because you're just, it's if you get let down, it hurts so much.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine the fear I would feel if I was having to do that right in front of her. It makes me think. I also always watch. I don't know if you've ever seen First Aid Kit performing the Emmylou song for Emmylou Harris.
Yeah, that's a beautiful.
That video is so
moment.
sweet. It makes me want to cry, and she's crying, and I'm just like, it's like
so
another
beautiful.
instance where I couldn't even imagine. They're so composed. I can't imagine.
They're such pros.
I know, and they're so young.
Yeah.
They make me feel so like envious sometimes because I'm always like, they're so young.
They're amazing. They sing on one of my songs.
What'd you say?
They sing on one of my songs.
Oh, don't they sing on
2010 album?
Is it a?
Do you remember?
Do you remember? Right. I think I knew that.
They were really young.
I know they were like 16.
Yeah.
I'm always amazed when people do that so young.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, so I watch that video quite often. I've watched a lot of your covers. I appreciate your PJ Harvey cover. Make You Feel My Love. You have such an eclectic taste of covers. Is it really as simple though as what you said? Like you kind of just try to sing the songs you like?
Yeah, somehow. Sometimes I dig into them because it's fun. Like I Want to Know What Love Is, for instance. It's just like, okay, what can this be done in a different way? Because there's a desperation in that I really connect to, and it's kind of, it can fit into my repertoire quite quickly if I just took the lyrics like from earlier albums, like about longing for love and all that stuff. So I was kind of thinking maybe I should try is it possible to put this in a different room? And so it's a bit of like a challenge, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But it's fun when it does.
So before we go, I wanted to ask, since we've been in quarantine, has there been any music or film or writing that's been sort of keeping you afloat these days?
I've listened a lot to music
Mm.
because I always have done that. I'm very much of I listen to new music all the time, so I try to listen to like podcasts with the new releases. And when I was a young girl, I had Mojo in my mailbox
Mm.
every month. So, and I worked at record stores for years. So
Oh,
I'm
nice.
kind of I have like it's a habit to search for new music. So there's a very long list of good music that I have discovered this year. Maybe it's like Phoebe Rogers. No,
Phoebe
Phoebe
Bridgers?
Bridgers. Yeah,
Bridgers,
is
yep.
one new thing I've discovered. And also, let's see if I can remember. Krangbin. I don't know how to spell it.
Oh.
Krangbin is one KRU. It's an instrumental
Oh,
band.
I don't know if I know that one.
It's really cool instrumental band. So, so music is always there. I've listened a lot to podcasts and me watching this French spy series. But it's almost like for me, it's been hard to because this situation is ongoing all the time. You know, it's there and you're always on. You're kind of like waiting to see what's happening all the time. It's never really like you can never really breathe out. It's like okay.
Mm.
So it's not like when you go to a cabin and you relax and you read a book.
Yeah, it's not a retreat.
No, it's not a retreat. Very
It's
good.
far from it.
Good. Well said. So I don't think it's that easy for me to kind of indulge in literature and strange movies and that kind of stuff. But so I hope that I had a plan that I would do that, but no.
I know I have a bookshelf. I'm looking at it right now of books I've never read, and I swore
I
I
know.
would read like at least a
Yep.
few this year. I probably haven't even opened one
Right?
because it's just so much.
Such a-
It's horrible, but it's been so much more up my alley to do really easy things. You know,
Yes.
like even listening to music to me is easier because
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
sort of like you just put it on
Yeah.
and you let it happen, or even like I keep watching movies or television shows that I've already seen because it's
You need
familiar.
escapism, right?
Right, and that's kind of what it
Yeah.
is. And
Yep.
I could read these books, but it feels like, it takes so much more effort than I feel like
Yeah,
I
I
have
know.
right now, and I
I
wish that
know.
wasn't true, but it is.
I totally know what you mean.
Well, thank
Just
you.
admit it.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to admit it to
Yeah.
myself. Thank you so much for talking to me, Anna.
Same, Jeremy.
The
It's
two
really-
albums are called After the Great Storm, which by the time this comes out will already be out. And How Beauty Holds the Hand of Sorrow is out November 27th. They're both really lovely records, and I really appreciated you taking a little bit of time to chat with me about them today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Take care. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Good luck next week.
Thank you.